hey guys, welcome to the Double X Agenda platform. If you're new to this platform, please subscribe and follow us on all our platforms. Basically, it's having authentic conversations with men, because men form part of our lives, whether we like it or not. They're our husbands, our children, our bosses, our brothers. And so I think understanding men and the mind of a man is crucial for our survival and for us to thrive as women. So yeah, so welcome to Authentic Conversations.
In my mind, I see the kids in the street, but not enough to eat.
With me are 6 amazing men. And all the men said?
Some more amazing than others.
That one right there is a man who is
Just finish, stop at the man.
is my housemate. Is my roommate. Is my roommate, aka my husband. The love of my life.
I'm stuck with you.
Kuria, thank you so much for joining us, my sister.
Hashtag Bedon, yeah?
Next to him is Amani Maranga. Thank you, girl. Then Joram.
Nothing else to say about you.
No, chill. Okay, chill. Okay, so
He's a man. That's
Amani.
He's a man. That's how we
It's because everyone.
He's a name brand.
No, exactly. By the way,
Amani Maranga.
Amani is known by so many people that I know. So I'm like, so you better introducing him, Pata. Yeah. He's a brand. That's good. You can also Google him. Let's Google him. This right here is Joram. So incidentally, Joram and my husband have known each other for
primary school. High school.
so that's like over 20 years. Many years. This is Melvin. Mela. Yes. Who's a creative. And then there's Flavor. What can we say about Flavor? Flavor, baby, he's also a brand. He's also a brand, like he's on a TV near you at any given time. Last but definitely not the least, by the way, like, I'm starstruck. I used to watch Okwi, Africa Journal, impeccable English. And by the way, I have something with Kobuthi. My husband doesn't grow one.
We can limit the applications that we can.
For my
voice goatee filter.
my voice to break. Forget your facial hair.
Are we waiting for Marini National?
I'm waiting for acne hair.
Okay, so thank you guys for coming through. When was the last time any of you cried? How do you guys show your feelings and emotions?
I can start because for me it's easy. The last time I cried was at a funeral, I think in June. And actually through the entire mourning period I had not cried. But just like in all of those last moments, I think there's enough emotion that had built up for me to have a few tears stream down. So actually, I wish I cried more.
Really?
That's the truth. I wish I cried more. Because I'm always like, how do women hack this? Like, I can go for a
Guys are
function.
dismissive.
I can go for a function with my wife, and someone says something sweet or sad or what, and she breaks out, and me, I'm just like.
And movies.
I wish I could.
The Notebook.
I wish I could.
Titanic.
So it's not that I don't want to, but it just doesn't. There's a specific movie.
We're watching a sitcom.
Blackish.
We're watching Blackish. So I'm just like,
It's a comedy.
I'm like, are we watching the same show?
So you guys.
It's a comedy.
Because there's not enough
You guys-
Casey Ellis Ross.
You guys, at the end of the series, they separated.
Yeah.
Of Blackish.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, people.
Oh, sorry.
Wanna make a change for once in my life.
I cried maybe 3 weeks ago. I was going through an experience called the Crucible.
Called that?
Crucible, which is a man, it's really a manly man experience. But one of the things it does is it helps you face your dark side. And for me that was interesting, it was hard to see. And for that reason, I cried. You know, in that process I cried, facing my dark side. Because I could see what my dark side had done, maybe to some of the people around me, and what it had done to me. However,
I must help you understand.
However,
That's a world-changing event. Like it has
Like
changed
once in
me.
10 years.
It has changed me entirely.
Like that compulsion had come from outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you cannot compare that to Blackish. You understand? In its
weighty.
weight of things. By the time you get me to tears, but it's world-changing.
So bad. For me, to be very honest, I was trained not to cry. I was trained not to cry. I was told from day one. Anything that happened to me is like, stop crying. That's the first thing. No one is checking if you're bleeding. I remember coming in, like, I still have the scar. There was a deep gash, like, in my thigh. You know, I was pouring blood, and they carried me into my mom, and the first thing she said was, stop crying. You know? So I was trained not to cry. So it really has to be either a build-up or like something really fundamental to who I am for me to cry. I think the last time I cried was when I couldn't pay school fees for my kids. Like, I didn't have the money, and the school was calling, and I just felt broken. Like,
That's when I cry.
because
but then
the training program.
Actually, when you said something fundamental, something about you, then that's a disconnect. That's when you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think me and my wife have argued and I've broken down, but then sometimes I'm like, why did I cry?
Yeah.
When I got kids, is when I think some of that feeling also becomes more
Emotion.
more
You see
emotion
yourself
is brought up. I remember I went for a funeral for one of my friends who had passed away, our colleague, and the son walked up and was speaking, and I was like, wow, my mortality was like I was facing. It was like, hey, if I die, my son would be in this situation. So that it just broke me.
When we're growing up, I mean, the common thread was that men don't cry. Number one. Number two, you don't show emotion. So we would fight. We had serious fighting episodes, as in mind. I mean, as in body altering fight. But you still could not cry. As in, it's completely altering. I mean, bones breaking, teeth coming out, and that kind of stuff. But you could not cry. Then I grew up in that space. Then even when my dad died about 14, 15 years ago, I never cried. I don't think I even processed that. I held on to that image that I grew up with. I cried last year when I lost a very good friend of mine called Bikel. We had walked with him a very painful journey. We used to talk almost daily, and he had come to a space where mortality for him he had accepted. And I remember I was emceeing at an event when I got news. In fact, guys almost, because I saw them behaving funny. Then I went to my, social media. That's when I realized that my good friend has. That's why these guys were trying to keep it hush. Actually, somebody almost snatched my phone. But at that moment, I just broke down. I cried heavily, even at his funeral, and during that entire process. And there are days even after that, I still, process that through crying. And what I've learned, and I've now continually told my son, who is 18 years old, is that crying is natural for a man. Don't pent up your feeling, because that emotion will find an outlet. And that outlet that it finds could be detrimental to you as well. So when you can, and don't be afraid to show that emotion of shedding a tear or two. It's okay. It's natural. It doesn't make you any less of a man.
Baby, the winter cold, the spring is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street.
I cried recently.
really?
I did, maybe about 2 years ago. Okay, no. Okay, no.
Was it raining?
No, maybe about 2 weeks ago. Just a difficult family season. But the reality is, before that, I honestly cannot remember the last time I cried. My family needs me to be strong. Yeah. Am I not the rock for the home? Yeah. So like now, if my wife cries, what does she expect? That I'll be the rock.
But you won't cry if you
Yeah. But if I come home and I cry, that confuses
Very
her.
confused. Yeah.
She's like, something must be completely
And the world has
wrong.
shut
Yeah. So I'm just like, is that the way that I should express my emotion? Does it help my family? Does it help the people? I mean, think about even a guy in public office. So if the president, I was going to say the DP, but let's move away from that one. If the president was like, this thing is so heavy, I don't know what to do. I'm just like, what will happen?
Yeah.
We expect him, the role that he has, to be strong, and that's what I feel. So I feel I need to figure out the kinds of outlets that let me, I don't even know if to deal with my emotion, but just process my energies. You know what I mean? So it might sound weird, but sometimes I'll go play sports. You know what I mean? And it gets something out of my system. So maybe it's not through my tears, maybe it's through my pause. You know what I mean? Like
You're crying by saying
There's no avenue for it. Like when my father died, there's no avenue for it. I had so many things to do. Other people could cry, but when is the space where I go away, close the door, and mourn for my father? There was no time for that. I had things to do.
You wanna make the world a better place? Take a look at yourself and then make a change.